Welcome everybody, this is Romero 17. I'm bringing you my first 5 placement matches. I'm just going to be analyzing them for a bit. My first ranked fight was against a Colby Covington. And I'm going with RDA, go out and touch gloves. He did not want any part of that, it's all good. Fire off a leg kick, slip the following straight strike that he throws. Goes for a flying knee for some reason. And he goes off with a push takedown, but I immediately go for the takedown counter. Now, for when somebody goes for the push takedown, it's going to be extreme. You have to pre-deny it. But if you use L2 and R2 to find whatever direction you can go in to hit the takedown counter, it'll stop that. So here I'm moving him around the clinch, denied up to stop the break. Managed to get the hip toss there. And a little tip in the clinch is, when you deny something or you transition or throw a strike, there's generally like a second period of waiting time where the guy may or may not have thrown a denial. And that hip toss wasn't really that fast, but I assumed that he had denied me trying to break or something. But got to his back, bumped him forward, hit the rear naked choke, sunk in the body triangle. And to me, I figured this guy wasn't even that good. I guess he had a good idea of how to start the fight, but this fight was over relatively quickly. First placement fight, fucking Colby Covington. Alright, we're going to be on to the next fight. What's the name of your new main account, Troy? It's Marlon, it's a fucking now. Yeah, so the first time I choose Marlon, and this is for my second division fight, I chose Marlon. And I was thinking I'm going to fight a TJ, a Cruz, or a Garbrandt, or a DJ. No, it's Marlon. So, when I play with Marlon, I try to adopt a very relaxed kind of style. Marlon isn't really the type of fighter that bugs out and goes crazy with his strikes. He's very calculated in his approach. And what you see I'm doing here is like I'm going in, I'm trying to probe the distance, see how my opponent reacts. Fire off a switch kick there, so I'm coming in. It's using the jab to gauge distance. My check didn't register there. As he's backing up, that's when I like to fire the body kick because he's stepping back into kick range. And so far I'm just waiting to see how he reacts. Fire off another 1-2 body kick. And there he goes, 1-2 lead hook. So I'm keeping a mental note of that before I engage again. Goes for a lunging strike and I fire off a leg kick immediately because he was out of range. Crowded him on that lead leg kick by going to the jab to the head and a rear body hook. And right now, because of Marlon's kicking ability, we're both very aware of that. So I'm trying to make sure I'm in the proper range. Good job with that ducking jab to the body. Now I go for the jab, spin to the body, but he didn't back up like I thought he would. But he went to go fire a switch kick, so I landed some good hit stun damage. And I'm just making sure that when I'm in the pocket, I'm winning all these exchanges. He's a little bit gun shy, so I have to really pick my shots here. But he goes for an out of range leg kick, and I capitalize with a low single, which would be really hard to deny. Now there he gets the sprawl transition. Goes up to over under, but this one I managed to deny. Kill a bit of his long-term stamina. And now I'm in backside. Now with the amount of time that I have left in this round, I don't really think I can do too much unless he really, really royally messes up. But I'm in a much better position than he is, and I can secure the round this way. So chuck him back 2 times, go for the suplex, get it, and this time I'm going to hit him with the punches, so there's less GA for him if he tries to transition. This time he goes for sprawl again, but I transition to side saddle and I managed to catch his arm. And there's a lot of positions in this game where if you try to transition in the middle of their transition, you'll actually win that contextual. It's like a contextual transition kind of thing, but I get more of that later. Now he goes to full guard, and to deny full guard from here, you got to deny right to where the hand that is closest to you, wherever you're on top. In this position here, he's not taking any severe bleed through damage yet until his block starts flashing. So you see this? It's not anything crazy yet. Now he's taking damage where you can see the gray in the head health. So keep that in mind. Now I fire off the elbow. Fire off another elbow. But he goes up. I'm actually fail on that denial. There's about 10 seconds left. And he's punching me with the lead hand. Which wasn't a smart idea because I managed to transition up there. And I basically secured the round relatively easily. And if you guys hear in the background, that's Ahim. He was streaming at the time where I was doing my placement fights because I figured, now would be a good time to do that. But secure the round, easy round. What adjustments is this player going to make to try to slow me down? Stamina similar, glove touch, thank you. You see he's trying to strike after my straight, so I'm actually stop him there with a straight lead hook. And there, I knew he was going to try to fire back in the middle of my combination, so I ripped off a 4-piece combination. Excuse skipping the video there. And now I see him. He's overreacting to every little thing that I do. 5 to 360 tornado kick off the jab. That's really good against guys that you see are like alternating the low block and high block. Good ducking roundhouse from my opponent here. Back to that jab straight lead hook. Goes for an out of range body hook and I punish him with the front kick. And again, I got the rock. He's not really mounting any significant offense where I have to be worried. And a little tip, if you guys are throwing body kicks in that punching range, they don't do, like they do absolutely no damage. Like the damage is so minuscule, you might as well have been better off not throwing it because it affects your long-term stamina. So if the guy's right in punching range, you throw a body kick, not only there he's in good range for the body kick. But not only are you killing your long-term stamina throwing it in range, but you run the risk of getting hooked to death. But I'm in cruise control this round. I see him lunging, so he lunged to the right, his right. So it's very likely that he's going to lunge to, yep, he's alternating. He might go that way again. So it's up to me to make an educated guess. If I want to punish him for his lunges, I need to go the way that I expect him to go. And really, I'm in the driver's seat here because of his lead leg health. It's so screwed, and he goes for a lead leg kick when his leg health was bad. After you get leg health to a certain point, your punches generally have less pop. And as you notice there, I'm barely taking any damage here. And now he's starting to fire off leg kicks in punching range, and if you notice, they're not doing much damage at all. Now here, I gotta take a guess. I'm gonna fire off a leg kick. I expect him to lunge a certain way, and every time he tries to fire off, I'm backing up out of range, and there he lunges the way I expected him to go. There he does a good job lunging my straight strike. But now he got dropped, leg rocked, and look, his punches are having virtually no effect, and we're at similar stamina. And then look at the chunk of leg health that he lost there when he tried to pressure it forward. And goes for spinning body kick of his own. But here I'm not worried. I've won this round. There's about 20 seconds left. Unless I make a mistake, I'm not losing this round. And he goes for that ill-advised ducking roundhouse and gets taken down by the spear. Go for the Kimura because why not? And now I'm up 2 rounds to 0. Tisk tisk. He threw 8 strikes around 1.
Oh my god!
Yo, what the hell is good with this nigga? Alright, so it says last round. Of course, I'm ahead of the striking advantage. But, you know what's funny? For the first time, I was playing on my alt, and the game told me, you need to switch up the game plan. You're probably losing this fight on the scorecards. And I wasn't annoyed. I was actually happy that the game told me that I was losing on the scorecards. Because I did that and I won a decision that way. So that was pretty cool that it followed up on that. But now, back to here. And there, I shouldn't have thrown my body kick from close. Again, I thought he was going to back up. And then he's trying to go for leg kicks. And he tried to lunge, and he lunges right into a hook. I don't know why he's not lunging with his block on. He's trying to play possum here. I'm just going to chop at his legs. Figured he was going to block low. And he keeps trying to lunge when he's hurt. Goes for a takedown. Put him in a tie clinch. I wanted to get a tie clinch KO, but I figured out this is more trouble than it's worth. Good lunge. But that's what's getting him into trouble because he's overdoing it to an extent. But he cleared his way. He's away from the cage. But now I'm free to land my kicks as I want. Goes for uppercut. I slip and land a slip counter. He's overreacting. He's overreacting. Crowding his own punches. And he goes for the slip counter. Ducks his spinning heel kick. But he is still rocked. He is still hurt. He should have gone for a double there. I don't know why he went for a single. But I'm going to keep this fight on the feet. Try to get a KO. Tries to plant and rip. That combination. He whiffs the spinning body kick and he gets punished by the head kick. Clean KO. Exactly what I wanted. That was a pretty fun for a second placement fight. That was pretty fun. But we're going to be on to the next one real quickly. Now here I have Dustin Poirier against this dude who has Khabib. Now Khabib, his top game is freaking ridiculous. Like, for obvious reasons. But it's to the point where you could be fighting somebody that you're clearly better than, and their denials are going to be at a similar level to you. But I noticed this Khabib is striking a lot more than I expected. So I noticed my head off is flashing, and I'm like, all right, I can't. I'm trying to counter too soon. So let me just figure out the timing. So 1-2, 1-2. Doesn't go for a takedown off of the front kick like I expected. So you notice he's loading up with these straight strikes. Now he's going hook, expecting me to move my head. So now it's up to me to time it. Now I land the first straight lead hook counter. Pull the hook. And then he goes for the 1-2, and I slip it, land the lead hook. And fuck you, I'm going to give you this missing elbow. And right there, that was kind of like, you know, a good example of like being patient, right? I tried to counter a bit too soon. It wasn't really working for me. So I waited a little bit. I kind of weathered that early storm of all those 3-4 hit strikes, and I countered him and I got the drop. Now here, because I don't know if people know this, but if you fake a lot when you're on top and your top game isn't that great, it really kills your stamina. So now I really avoid faking unless it's like really a necessity to like advanced position. Tries to go up for some reason. I go for the triangle armbar. But Khabib's submission defense is actually much better than I expected. He has a good amount of stamina to where he could survive this. So I wasn't expecting to get it, but I was like, I'll take it. And triangle armbar, I don't know why it doesn't do head health damage. It does a block, but doesn't do any head health damage. I was hoping to do both. Now here, I thought he didn't know how to deny anything. That's a mistake that I make a lot. Like, I mean, he doesn't know how to do this. He's not that good. And then I get caught with like the dude denying something, but he tries to double fake and I get a reversal. And in that position, Khabib has a bulldog choke that I believe he denied by going R2 and down. So I was kind of expecting that after the denial. So again, it's either I underestimate my opponent or I overestimate them. So I gotta really cut that out. Go to side control. And again, this is, like I said before, this is a really dominant position. It's an extremely dominant position. Just the way it is. There's 3 ways you could go. So it's better than UFC 2, where if you go for deny, you already have 2 ways to go. But in UFC 3, there's 3 ways to go. And generally, the hardest one to deny is the one where it goes up. Oh, now we're back to the side saddle position. And whenever I grapple, I try to embrace more secure the position and deal damage later. If I can deal damage, I'll take it. But the player base is getting so good with their denials and whatnot that it's generally just not worth the risk trying to force advancing a position. I'm just going to take what I can get. But easy round for me. Got the drop. Controlled him for about 3 minutes. Great work on the ground. Thank you, game. On to round 2. Now here I make a crucial mistake, right? And then he's trying to fire off, so I want to throw like a body strike. As his stamina is loading up so it does the most damage. And again, I'm doing a minor swing, I'm not doing a major swing. And I thought he was going to strike. I was thinking, surely, if I just out-grappled you for 4 minutes, you're not going to go for a takedown again, are you? But again, he has Khabib. And here, I'm like, alright. Let me just wait it out. Let me let my stamina recover, go up, recover the position, and relax. And that's a mistake on my part. I always think, I'm like, surely he's not going to take me down. He just got out grappled for 4 minutes. He's no way he's going to try to take me down. But he gets a little bit overzealous in the transition, goes to side control, reverse him, end up on top, denying that transition. Managed to get a few fakes off going there. See how fast my next transition is going to be. It's okay. He already bit on one of the fakes, but here, taking me down was a bad idea, buddy. Get to side saddle. Now, if you notice, sometimes it switches from side saddle to side control. You get side saddle when you have a significant stamina advantage over your opponent when you're on top. And here, I'm just racking up the head health damage. And this dude's probably thinking, man, maybe I should have kept it on the feet. And now it's just a game of denials, and he's just denies the inverted triangle. I'll give him credit for that. I'll give him credit for that. I was surprised. But this is no good for Khabib, man. Imagine this, if that would have happened in their fight. Like, Poirier controls him on the ground. He just denies everything. He just controls his wrist and just smashes him on top. That'd be insane, but that's not going to happen. But, now, I've racked up a lot of damage on the ground. Like a good amount of damage, right? His head health is significantly lower than mine. Not by a good amount, but by a pretty solid amount that if I were to take this fight to the feet, I think I could KO him. That's what my thoughts were. That's how I was on top. So I'm clearly winning the round. And he goes up. I went to the deny left, so he got that free up. But I'm like, fuck it. He goes for an ill-advised, ragey head kick, completely out of range, gets punished by the straight, and I'm just loading off of like the 4-piece combinations, fire off a knee to the body, and he's going elbow, elbow. He tried to fire back after the jab hook. Eats a straight, gets overwhelmed by all those strikes, and it is game over for Khabib. Pretty fun so far.
Light work.
Yeah, light work indeed. 3 fights in, heading on to the next one. Tisk. Now on to this next fight. This fight was a 2-bar, like a fluctuating 2 to 3-bar. But so my rule is for 3-round fights, I try to only use like an A fighter or maybe a B plus, and for 5-rounders, I try to use Thompson. The exception to that rule is when I go against a 2-bar, and I know there's going to be some form of delay. So Thompson can kind of help me kind of stop that. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to catch this guy as he's trying to fire it back. Goes for a straight shot, and I slip straight, drop him immediately. And I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to rush to finish. And with Thompson, it's very important that you try to keep the round strikes minimal and keep most of your shots straight. If you're going to fire for a hook, have it be the lead hook, because it'll cost a good amount of your stamina. But there, I figure this guy doesn't really have a good idea for head movement. He goes for a little single, but I figured that was going to be coming, that he's going to start shooting for his life, and easily denied. And again, it's a little bit of delay there, so I'm trying to think ahead. And it just seems like the only thing this guy knows how to lead with is a jab straight. Out of range knee. Successfully lunge out of the way from that rear straight. He switches stance. And anytime I feel like he's getting comfortable and he's going to get into range, I'm going to load up 2 or 3 strikes planted. Load up the wombo combo. And man, my stamina was low, so that head kick didn't drop him because he didn't really do anything in that time period, and it's a little bit of delay again. I used the retreat to back up out of range. And I lunge away from the body hook. Fire a few uppercuts to threaten it, and I'm surprised he's not going for any driving takedowns there. But he continues to stay in front of me. Gets eaten up by the jab uppercut hook again. And I'm just going to stick to what works. I'm trying to get through this fight as quickly as possible. Hit the double under counter. And due to the amount of delay, I'm not going to even risk grappling, especially against Usman. It's not worth it. And again, he goes for the 1-2. His head off is extremely low. That spinning heel kick is a level 4 or 5, and this fight is quickly over. This guy could have done a much better job. He kind of stayed on the outside too much and got picked apart. Definitely could have crowded me a little bit more. But for fight, on to the last one. In the background, you can hear him say, "What the fuck? I'm blocking that." And I believe I gave him like a lecture later on about how he was saying he had to get a new monitor. And I'm like, no, you don't really need that, because at some point, if you just keep thinking that it's the tech that's screwing you up, the tech can only do so much for you with regards to skill. Yeah, like you hear it in the background, really, like me telling him at some point, if you think everything has to do with your the tech, obviously you need to treat yourself well and make sure that your gaming experience is as positive as possible. But the skill and the muscle memory has to be built by yourself, and that's only gonna happen if you play more or practice more. But now, so if you guys recall that last Khabib fight, he struck a lot more. He didn't go straight to the grappling, and there's a lot of grapplers or people that use grapplers to kind of scare you away from trying to grapple them. And here's another one: jab, hook, hook. So I want to punish him for that. I don't want to punish too soon. Maybe I'll consider it, but because our stamina is extremely high right now. See right there, he's going jab, hook, hook, trying to catch me as I'm trying to load up. So my goal here against this Khabib, the way I see him fighting, when he's forward moving into me, I'm gonna plant and rip my strikes, and just gradually chip away at his health. Now right there, I loaded up that jab overhand after the straight strike as a counter to that jab, and again he goes to the jab, hook, hook, goes for a takedown, and again side control. Freaking side control, man. An extremely annoying position to be in, especially if you're the guy at the bottom. Extremely annoying. But what are my takeaways from just being on the feet with this guy for a few seconds? So he likes jab, hook, hook, right? So I can choose to counter the second hook, but that might not be the ideal because the third hook can kind of rush me. But if I counter at the third hook, preferably duck and land that straight that I've talked about in my previous video, then I'll go. Then I'll land that counter instead. But I essentially want to plant and rip. Here, again, I don't want to spend too much time on top. I don't want to transition too much. Thus, this top game isn't that crazy good. I don't want to kill my own stamina, so I'm content with letting the ref stand us up here. And again, forward moving strikes. It's forward moving strikes, so it's higher vulnerability on that if I counter him. Slips, trying to slip my strike. And then I kind of teased the little front head kick counter. He loads up on some strikes, doesn't block his head, smart man. And that body kick hurt hard because I went for an empty slip. And there his stamina was low, so he didn't rock me off of that strike after the body kick, but I hit the ducking pull counter as I wanted, and there his head off was low, and he went to low block while his head was rocked. Straight strikes, they don't have any bleed through if you're overcommitted to the front, but this player, he went to the body, and you'll see his hands drop. Watch, his hands drop just for an instant, and the straight goes through and ends him. But yeah, those are my three fights, placement fights for this season. I'm gonna start streaming again very soon, but I just want to get this out the way so you guys know I didn't just leave you all to dry. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, picked up on whatever I've talked about. Just want to have some fun and just post these fights. Have a wonderful day.